Oh yeah, Reallivedyl. Here with my boy Flock and John. Views from a chair. I don't got too much this week because I'm hungover and shit. So I don't got the enthusiasm.
Let's chat.
I almost hit the loud right before, dog, to mellow me out. But I get me antisocial sometimes, so it's a risk.
You a little
It's a
paranoia
risk.
coming in.
Yeah, that's like I was lit this weekend. Flock, man. My man said just left my crib, and I called him 5 minutes later. I said, "Bro, I know you just left, but I need some loud."
Damn.
Yeah, and I tell you how I wasn't even gonna tell my mans about this, but how I'm a J. My man said left us a backwood, right? My sister couldn't roll a backwood. We smoked out a soda can. Tell me I ain't got COVID.
You got COVID ASAP.
Pass this. No.
Almost smoked out of a Diet Dr. Pepper can.
Pass the can around.
No cap.
Found the can on the street too. Just picked it up extra.
Pulled that bitch out the fire, said it was sanitized.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. That's cap. Oh,
I'm gonna tell y'all. I re-downloaded Instagram, got on there, and I happened to scroll past one of Mr. Dylan Andrews' posts, and I seen like about 38, 48 comments talking about happy birthday. I'm sitting there to myself like, damn, I've never had that before. That many birthday posts.
Yeah, shit felt great. You should have seen them DMs, baby.
I'm like, so Dill tries.
Was a success.
Shit felt great, baby. Now go, Flock.
Dill tries to clown me for being a celebrity, but he's over here reposting every single Instagram birthday wish.
Guys, you feel me? Look, if you take enough time out your day to wish me a little birthday post and shit, I'm gonna repost it, dog.
I respect it. It. Boost the ego up a little bit.
Look how many people fuck with me.
Yeah. Gotta let them know.
Bitch called me beautiful in my messages. I don't know how I should take that.
John called me. We gotta keep a counter for this bull, man.
John called me beautiful. I said, damn, you could at least call me handsome.
Wait, John called you beautiful?
No,
John, bro. Jesus.
This pod took a left.
We podding again. Nah, I felt great, bro. I got all the love.
Yeah,
all the love this year.
Dylan thinks doing alcohol is cool. Always posting the bottle somewhere. Trying to brag about it,
See, that's crazy because that's cap. Because I had 2 posts this weekend, or 2 posts, 3 pictures, and out of 3 pictures, there's only 1 bottle, and it was in the cut. You thought I wasn't even glorifying that, John. So it makes me sad to Flock. I just tried to do that.
Was the bottle there on purpose, though?
Nah, it wasn't, because it was a personal, John. So I wasn't even flaunting it. I just tried to tuck it behind the sneak real quick. It was a little mini John. I wasn't even trying to put it out there. But hey, you feel me? Live and you learn.
If you look back on all of Dylan's posts, the amount of times you could see like his foot and then the bottle slightly in view, it's almost like it's perfectly placed there to be like just in view of the camera, but I'm pretending I'm trying to hide it from the camera.
Yeah, you counting the wrong shit. Go back to my post and see how many times I got a Capone in my hand and wonder how healthy my lungs are at this point. That's what you need to count.
That's true. What does it really do for you to post all those reposts of people wishing you happy birthday?
It's just what you're supposed to do, bro. It's like it's a courtesy joint.
So again, you're doing it for other people.
And I be looking cool in them joints too, bro. You feel me?
Okay, so now we're getting to it. Now we're getting to it.
It's my birthday, bro.
It's a courtesy joint.
Yeah, look at her. Look, it's my birthday, bro. Look how many people saying happy birthday. And guess what? The more people that post me, I got like 20 followers off that joint, bro. People just following me, and then they want to say happy birthday too. I'm like, damn, I'm like a little birthday magnet this weekend. You feel like they just keep rolling in, dog. Birthday wishes.
Nice.
So don't rain on my parade, Flock. I'm feeling great.
So is it that you're doing it for them because you're just so courteous and just so kind that you'll repost their nice wishes, or does it gain you those?
Now, why wouldn't you though, bro? What you just gonna say? LOL, thanks. Good looking.
Yeah, what did Emmett Smith say? Act like you've been there before?
Yeah. I know what you didn't say. You didn't say a birthday post on Instagram, dog. That's what you didn't say.
Oh,
That's
damn,
that's what we're
fuck,
getting
that's
down to.
crazy.
Oh, we got a bunch of cool pics together, dog. I didn't get no little pic, John. You could have took M John over for the day. That boy be hating. See?
Damn.
I got
So
cut the grass low.
Instagram posts would have been worth more than the message I sent you.
Yeah,
Mm.
yep.
Really?
Yep.
So what
Nah,
about that makes it worth more?
Now, you know what's crazy, though? It is like a ranking scale on that, John, there. Because if the individual text, them John's top tier, you feel me? And then it's like the individual post they write under, or the messages, and then it's the comments on the post like, yeah, happy birthday and shit. Then it's like, it's tiers to it.
That's
You
the
feel
happy
me?
birthday rankings and shit.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Text
Yep.
message number 1.
Yeah, text message and calls. You feel me? The
I ain't mad at
individual
that.
reach out. Yep.
I ain't mad at that.
John,
Mhm.
did you see the Santa birthday plate that Shane posted?
Nah, that was for Dill.
Yeah, that's crazy. He got a Santa birthday, John. That's all. That boy got a plate.
Apparently, Dill a long time ago, maybe like 1 year ago, but it looked like realistically it was when he was a kid. He took a
Yeah.
red Solo plate and wrote in
Uh-huh.
icing a message to Santa.
And Shane had it.
Shane had a picture. And
I don't know what's so funny.
It said something about the cookies are
Is
for
it up in
you.
it?
The carrots are for the reindeer. P.S. I've been a really good boy.
That was capping. That was capping, dog.
Yo.
Nah, that's funny though.
Carrots for the reindeer, though. I ain't
Yeah.
never heard of carrots.
Y'all ain't never do that?
Not the carrots.
Well, I was out
Y'all
there.
ain't
My
have-
parents had
yeah.
me throwing the sprinkle dust out there so the
Oh,
reindeer knew the
yeah,
land.
see?
Make some
Yeah.
cookies. Make
Yeah,
some cookies.
tell your mom step it up, John. John, we had the
Make
cookies.
some cookies.
We had the cookies,
Yeah,
the
the
carrots.
carrots for the reindeer.
We had the carrots
though.
for the reindeer, and I had the glass of milk for
Yeah,
Santa in case he was a little
cookies
thirsty,
and the
dog.
milk. Yeah, for
Come
sure.
on,
Cookies
dog.
and the milk that they crushed
Come
at
on.
midnight.
Mm-hmm.
We're really
Yeah.
skipping over the. We're really skipping over the P.S. I've been a good boy though. That was my favorite shit at the whole plate.
Motherfucker, you wasn't saying you was a good boy when you was 6, dog? I was a good boy that year. That's no cap, though. I was a good kid for a while.
One of his gifts.
No cap.
Oh,
I already
man.
told you how I got a tea set when I was younger.
Yeah, I heard
Nah.
that.
A tea set or a teeth set?
No, a tea set, bro.
Like
A
the
tea
cups?
set. Yeah, bro. I wanted a tea set. I wanted an oven too. I was going through a little phase where I like to whip it up. And
You was
I
being
asked
a
for
real
tea-
good boy for real.
My mom asked me what I wanted. She didn't get me the oven because gender roles was different back then. But she was like, "Yeah, you can get the tea set." and shit. Well, I got the tea set. My brother started bullying me. So I'm capping. I'm like, "What's this?" My mom was quick with it. She was like, "Oh, that must have been Caitlin gift."
Oh, she looked out. She looked out. Because it was about to be a wrap.
I went and got that bitch after everybody left, though.
Nah, that's crazy.
You was
Yeah.
drinking the chamomile tea ASAP?
Yeah, bro, I had the tea set. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, that's what first
shit.
got you in the kitchen, you know?
Yeah,
Hey,
fuck, dog.
hey.
That's why I'm drinking like this. I've been had the tea sets, dog. No cap.
Oh, man. You know,
That
one thing
shit-
when I was listening back to the pods, I noticed that we kept hitting on this point about therapy always being about self-serving things. Did y'all notice that? Like that kind of kept coming up.
Yeah, dog. You can't miss it.
And I was wondering, what do you guys expect therapy to be about if it's not focusing on what you're doing for yourself in a good way or a bad way?
It's not even therapy, bro. It's like how you push it out is like basically your whole life is about, it comes back to what you're doing for yourself, regardless of what the action is. It always comes back to how it affects you. And I don't think life's necessarily like that. I think sometimes people do shit for other people.
Right, and that's definitely a point that I was wanting to talk about, because how could it? So why are we in therapy though originally?
Because you fucked up.
Yeah, I was about to say like
Because you fucked up, bro. You got some shit. Yeah.
Or maybe it's been normalized in your family and everybody does it.
That shit don't be normalized in nobody family. Do it. Well, just shit. My buddies be from different walks of life, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe somebody's just like, oh, this is just what we do. This is regular for me.
Why don't you tell us, Flock? What did you learn from the chair? Why people go to therapy?
Views. We're all in. The only reason anybody goes to therapy is because there's something going on in their life that's making them unhappy, right? Or the rare incident where life is going somewhat well and they just want to make it better. And so how could you be in therapy and not focusing on what you're doing that's hurting you or helping you? Like, that's all that therapy is going to be. It's not going to be focused on changing your family because they're not there. It's not going to be focused on changing your people in your life because they're not there. So it's only going to be focused on, what am I doing that's ultimately making my life worse?
Yeah, I feel that. But you could change your interactions with people.
And who is that about, though? Who's going to be?
Yeah, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's kind of a sensitive topic for people to be thinking about because it feels like an insult, or maybe it hits on the ego to say like, oh, it's me that's the problem.
I was always curious on like, at what point do you stop fucking with people? Like, at what point is it not worth it? Like, is that your job as a therapist to tell people sometimes like, yo, chalk that relationship up?
Never. I hardly ever try to say direct feedback like that unless somebody's getting hurt. Like if they're in danger. Physically. Yeah. Because
but you could be listening to a story and be like, yeah, you shouldn't even be messing with him, in your head.
Usually keep it in my head because people don't make changes that often off of straight up advice. People usually have to realize that how I'm living is incongruent with how I think I should be living. And then once they have that distinction and they realize there's like that space in between those two things, then they're usually a little bit more motivated to say, okay, I'll make the change because I realize this isn't lining up with me.
Damn.
So you don't even be giving advice?
Hardly ever. Hardly ever. And sometimes, in fact, I'll say in session, like, I want you to know that what I'm about to say isn't based off of my personal perspective, but I'm listening to what you're saying and giving back to you what I'm hearing from you. That way I can confirm with them that it's not about me.
I always thought you gave like a little advice out. You just be listening. So your job basically is, it could be worse. Yeah, your shit is, yeah, that's crazy. That's your whole John. Yeah, that is crazy. So if I come to you, I'm like, yo, Flock, man, I'm so upset, man. My mom keeps acting like this. My brother's doing this. And you just be like, yeah, word.
No.
Yeah, what would be the response to something like that?
Well, that's the thing about therapy. It takes a really long time. So it takes usually between 8 and 12 sessions for any real change to happen.
Damn.
And so the first, like, 3 sessions after you came to me and said that, it would just be about building trust. And then after that, we would start digging into what you're not liking about what they're doing and starting to get a gauge on your personal power to make a difference in that situation, whether it is leaving or saying something, advocating for yourself, or
so
trying
to like lay out options. Like you could do this, or this.
Usually trying to get in tune with what their values are in that situation. So like, let's just say mom is constantly degrading the younger sibling, right? Lining up, trying to figure out what they think should be happening and what they really want the younger sibling to be receiving in that scenario. And seeing, and maybe one solution would be them offering to the younger sibling what they think their mom should be offering. You know, whatever their values are telling them in that scenario.
So they should offer, if something was wrong, they should offer what they could do for the young sibling?
That could be an option for sure. You know, if that's what their values are telling them needs to happen in that scenario.
So basically trust your gut in that type of moment.
Learning to trust yourself is a huge piece of therapy. What's up, Dill?
Nah, it's just funny because you keep talking and you got your wife, your John, so I just keep popping up as Emily. Like you sweet. But
Like I'm
that shit
sweet?
whack, bro. Yeah, that shit whack. Cause I'm a little therapist myself, dog. You know, so people be calling me, they give me like 35 minutes, I give advice. Yo, do this. I always thought you gave like advice. Yo, maybe you should try this out. Maybe you should do that. But instead you just like, yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah. Shit is nuts.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm saying. I say at
is
all.
crazy.
That's what you saying.
But he said he gave out options. He gave out options.
I know. I know. I just thought like it was really like, yeah, you come with a problem and you like solve that, John. That's not how therapy is.
No, hardly ever any of me solving it. You like the name change though?
There we go. There we go, bro. I thought you was a problem solver, bro.
No, I mean, it's helping people solve the problems using the skills that they already have.
So it's more so like just letting people solve their own problems. But do you ever try and steer them into the solve?
Definitely. I mean, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So you basically giving advice. Because if you steer in a conversation, they're steering how somebody's going to handle it, but you letting them think that they have the idea for like their own ego trip, it's still you giving advice. It's just doing it in a way they feel empowered about it. You're just manipulating the mind a little bit.
No, that's your bag.
That's what you do. You just said that's what you do. That's what you do, bro.
Manipulates the shit and everything.
Yeah, that's right. You manipulating their mind a little bit. You making them feel like they empowered with their advice and that they figured their own problems out. But in reality, it's really you figuring it out, but you steering their thought process.
Because they came to me for help. So it's not manipulation when you ask me for help. If you say, help me
yeah, but it
figure
is
this out,
manipulation if you make it seem like they helping themselves, but it's really you helping them.
no.
John, you see what I'm saying, right?
I see what both of y'all saying.
Yeah, you middle ground motherfucker.
Nah, I mean, I see what both of y'all saying.
Safe.
Because I asked Flock, and he was like, he give out options. Like, you could do this with the younger sibling or this. Whatever you feel is right. And like you said, it takes time to trust yourself, which was interesting too.
Here's a real basic example. If somebody was coming to me and they were like, how do I drive? Like, let's just say they have a problem where when they get in the car, they can't figure out how to drive to the grocery store because they don't know the directions. I would say something like, well, how would you, and this is a very basic example, obviously. How would you figure out the directions to the grocery store? And then they could say something like, well, I don't know. That's kind of my issue. Say, okay, so what resources do you have to help you figure out directions? And then they might come up with, okay, well, I got the GPS. Right. So that's
but the whole time you know they got the GPS.
I do.
And you know that's the answer to it. But instead of just telling them like, yo, just grab the GPS, you like mind fucking them into thinking like they figured it out on their own.
But he might not know they got the GPS.
It's manipulation.
Like that was super basic though.
Yeah,
know,
super
bro,
basic.
That was like too
basic.
basic.
If somebody call me and say, yo, I can't figure out how to get to your crib, we'll pull your GPS up, dog.
Yo, I ain't got a phone.
Motherfucking print out the joint on MapQuest.
Where I'm gonna print it at? Everything closed right now. It's 9:00.
Motherfucker go straight to the zoo and then boom, boom, boom. You feel me?
All right, that's all I needed to know.
but honestly, that reaction.
But they never knew though.
Yeah, exactly. That little role play that y'all did was perfect because anytime like a therapist or most people really start to give that direct advice, the other person starts to rebel against it or bring out the reasons why it won't work. Mm-hmm. That's most of our common reaction. If you tell me to do something this way, I'm going to tell you why that hasn't worked, or I've probably thought of that before.
That's a fact. Like if you don't shut your old ass up, cuz fucking stupid ass up. Yeah, so the majority of people come to you. That shit's because they have to.
No, where I work now, people are coming out of will.
Oh, okay. So what's like the main reason?
I mean, technically there's not technically, but I guess there would be two types of therapy. You've got people who have like a clinical mental health diagnosis of depression, bipolar, anxiety, to where there is real neurological and physiological issues that are happening, where let's just say with depression, there is, and when we have depression, there's inflammation in the brain and our receptors are not receiving dopamine, serotonin, so we're not able to feel good.
Damn, that's crazy, dog. Go ahead.
On a very real way. And then there's other therapy where people are like, they're not depressed, they don't have a diagnosis, and they're just trying to work through a difficult time. And I think because we hear a lot of people talk about mental health right now, right? That's like a huge topic.
Yeah, shit trendy as fuck.
Yeah, trendy as fuck. See the God, everybody has some type of book on it. But I feel like there's hardly ever real discussions about what it actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, motherfuckers be saying they have anxiety. They don't even be knowing what anxiety is. That shit be cap.
They don't know what anxiety is. I agree. Like, how would y'all describe anxiety?
I don't think I have it, so I wouldn't know. I mean, I guess being anxious.
Yeah, that shit
for no
depends,
reason.
dog.
Like, I don't
I be thinking worst case scenario all the time.
see that ain't me.
Like worst
You
case
definitely
scenario.
be thinking worst case.
I think worst case scenario for like everything, and then I have to have like 3 or 4 like emergency situations and how I would get out of them Jones. You feel me? And it would be like
Everything though?
everything, bro. Everything.
So my inclination is to say that's probably more based off of trauma than it is anxiety.
Yeah, probably. Traumatized.
Right. Yeah, and really, like, trauma is something that can lead to anxiety, but it's based off of something that happened where there was like a lack of safety.
Nah, you know what's crazy though? I got my anxiety disorder when I was young, right? Diagnosed and shit, like probably like 11, 12. And it's because I was getting like physically sick at the bus stop. But it didn't start happening until we got in this big ass family crash like a couple months before. And then I started busing into the city. So like my commute went from like 2 minutes to like, what's it called? So I would just every morning be mad sick. My mom was like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with you? At first she thought I was trying to get out of school and shit. But I wasn't. I was getting sick. Like you get to the bus stop and throw up. And then I went to the doctors. They had to try and throw me on Zoloft and shit. But I never fucked with it. So I just stopped taking it.
Mm.
So yeah,
But
right
yeah, it was
around
like
trauma.
a direct. Yeah. That shit was crazy too. That motherfucker Big Doe. Big Doe. This motherfucker Big Doe got stuck in the back of the car. Cause
Oh,
I was
you
talking
remember
about
that shit vividly.
Yeah. Yes, bro. Fuck yes,
How
bro.
old was you?
Shit, like probably 4th grade. 5th grade, me and Big Doe sitting in the back of the car. My mom was in the front. Kevin was driving. Caitlin was in the middle. Motherfucker, dude had a rental behind us, rammed this shit. He was from overseas. This motherfucker said he had forgot that the brake and the gas was different Jones or some shit. It was some wild shit. So he rammed straight into the back of the minivan, right? I was fine. That shit just knocked me over, made it rain glass on me and shit.
Yeah.
But Big Doe, that motherfucker got stuck in the back of the car, right? So he used to keep his leg like in between, like we was little, so he's like dumb shit. He used to keep his leg in between the seat and like the side of the wheel. So it was like a little rod John went through his leg. This motherfucker was stuck, cuz. So the car is total. You feel me? Vicky's fucked up. She's gone like instantly. So she gets on a stretcher. They take her. She out. Big Doe. This motherfucker Kevin gets us all out the car, but tries to like pull Big Doe. Realizes his shit is stuck.
My God.
So now it's like truckers and shit riding over. They try and cut this John off. So they got the little claws and shit. So they cutting the car apart and shit.
In his leg?
Yeah, bro. So they cutting the John apart, right? Yeah, so they cutting the John apart, but everybody's scared. They think that shit gonna engulf in flames. You feel me? So like motherfuckers was mad nervous. We was going to Hershey Park. Talk about a turn of events.
Damn.
Yeah, that shit was wild, though.
That
shit was wild. Yeah.
Do you still see it?
See what? Bro, I got a real, what's it called? A photographic memory. So, like, my memory crazy anyway. So, like, I almost, like, I don't want to say everything because that's impossible, but almost, like, every somewhat big event, like, I can picture in my head to an extent.
Is there things, but you don't have to go into them, but is there things before that you can remember? Big stuff?
Yeah, I got lost at the beach when I was young, and everybody says I be capping because I was like dumb young. But I remember that shit, dog. I was like 4 or 5. I remember that shit.
I feel
I
like
got
we
lost at
got
the beach.
memories that early too.
Yeah, because I was chasing a seagull. You feel me? So we was on the beach on the family trip. I was just chasing a seagull on some dumb shit, not being a good boy. So I was running down the beach and shit, and eventually, like, I looked around and realized, like, I had dipped. I went and walked up to a lady and had asked her, like, yeah, like, I was crying and shit, and she grabbed me and she took me down the beach and shit, and I had to find my family. My mom was all upset and shit, crying and shit. She was mad as a motherfucker at Kevin.
So you got situations where like uncertainty, unpredictability, maybe a bit of lack of safety have shown up like out of nowhere. And so maybe that creates the need to like predict scenarios so you know how it's going to turn out to prevent that type of thing from happening.
Yeah, that's before I even got into my adult life. You probably that was the light shit. Nah, no cap, Jeff.
What do y'all know about trauma? Like what when that word gets brought up, because that's like a huge word right now, right? Everybody talks about trauma.
Yeah.
What does that bring to mind for y'all?
Meek had a good song, and it said trauma, and that's what I was thinking.
Great song.
That shit was a good song because he said trauma like trauma. Like mad aggressive. You feel me? Yeah, that shit was hard. Dirk had a good song called Traumatized too.
See, I never would have guessed that you would have brought up Meek Mill as a reference. I didn't even know that you were really a fan.
Yeah, because some people, they live like a realistic life, so it's influential when you can kind of like compare or comprehend level or lyrics to a point. It's different when you're a fan of music and you can't really relate. You feel me, Flop?
No, I don't. Can you explain a little bit more? That's why I listen to Joe Budden.
Fucking Joe.
Because he's depressed.
Trauma, what's it called? I was talking about it with my work buddies in the joint. I was talking about something. She gonna say, "Oh, you damaged. That damage is trauma, bro." That's what I think. Trauma just like not physical scars. That shit might come with physical scars, though.
So somebody say you damaged, they saying you suffer from trauma.
You traumatized. Yeah, some shit happened. That shit could be a bunch of different shit. That shit could be shit from accidents to feeling like abandonment from family, like a bunch of different shit.
Rejection.
Yeah, 100%. That's a mad different levels of trauma, not just like the regular, not the regular car accident shit. Like it's mad different shit. Motherfucker, you might be traumatized from your dad not showing up to your birthday. You feel me? Like shit like that.
I think that's a really understated point of the different levels of trauma. Even like not having somewhere to sit in middle school, which I never went through, is something that you can be traumatizing.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Shane and my boy Monty. And then Monty caught some flack on the beginning of the pod, but I had just transferred new middle schools in 7th grade. I was looking a little lonely. They waved me right over, dog. They waved me right over.
They've been squad ever since.
Yeah, we've been friends since 7th grade. They waved me right over.
They locked y'all in.
You understand what I'm saying? Locked me in.
With trauma, I think it's like, I think there's some misconceptions about the levels, but then I think there's also some misconceptions about how it affects us. And, like you were mentioning, we have the both mental and physical level of our body. Like we typically think that our bodies aren't as much of us as our minds are. And like, I'll find that when I ask people where they exist, they will say they exist like from their eyebrows up. Like they're mostly in their mind. And that's a bit of a farce. Like we exist in our whole entire body. And our Western culture will tell us that we use our mind first and then we feel with our body. Like we'll think about things. We will see something, think about it, and then feel according to it, right? And there's different types of therapies that work with that perspective, but then there's other types of therapies that say, well, we also feel first with our bodies, and then we think with our minds. And that's one of the way that trauma affects us is our body, like in a car accident, your body probably had a moment where it realized right before the impact that something bad was about to happen. And it could feel that coming on. Every time I mention body, Dill starts to crack up. I wonder.
Nah, I was geeking because that's what you were saying. I said, shit, well, that done happened a couple times, and I had spider sense that John, dog. Some shit, bad shit about to happen.
Exactly.
That should be happening. That should be happening.
That's physical trauma, where your body starts to pick up on something that's going to happen before it actually happens. And the impact of trauma is that the body starts to predict that something bad is going to happen, even when it's not. And that's when trauma starts to become really unuseful, because then you're walking around life thinking that something bad is going to happen, or feeling that something bad is going to happen, and it's really not. And you're running through all these scenarios in your head based off of how the body feels. And when we talk about mental health, we tell people control your thoughts. But what we don't address is soothe your body, so your body doesn't tell your mind all these thoughts are going to happen.
So even something like hearing a sound and having a reaction, like maybe your parents came home, when they slammed the door, you knew they was angry. So you might hear a slam door now, and you're like, oh shit.
Exactly.
It may make you feel away.
Exactly. And it's not even like conscious to where you're doing that, but it feels a way physically in your body, like maybe your stomach drops a little bit, or your heart starts to race, or your breath gets a little shorter. And then the mind goes into, what do I need to do to make sure my parents don't come after me?
And that can be, you can treat that with therapy.
Yes.
And they could get over it. Like, all right, that fear is no longer there. Like, that would be a reason somebody would come.
Shit, motherfucker, I get that fear every time I get a phone call, damn near. You ever get a phone call back to back? Monty called me last week, and then Johnny called me unrelated back to back. I was in the shower, so I didn't see that shit. I called Monty right back and said, who checked? You feel me? Who checked, bro? What's up? Everything cool?
So that's trauma, right?
Yeah, motherfuckers traumatized out here, bro. So I was telling you, we like Meek.
Dylan wants to be like Meek so bad. It's crazy.
Nah, I think I'm bigger on the Dirk side now, bro. He still kind of stays connected with like that 4-pack Meek drop wasn't
hot.
Nah, but I don't think all that pain song with Dirk, that shit was hot. You think trauma's all bad?
Yeah, most trauma is unhelpful because it presents itself as if it's intuition, but more times than not it's not helpful intuition.
But can it be a learned lesson instead of trauma?
Can it be a learned? What do you mean?
Like, let's say if one of my brothers, I got 15, so I could say this without giving shit away. But let's say if one of my brothers is drawing, you feel me, and he might have burnt the relationship a couple times. So now if he calls, I might just not answer, or I might text him or get back to him a couple of days because I'm already assuming it's a bad call or something bad's going on. You feel me? But that's not necessarily me traumatized. That's just learning habit.
I agree with you. That sounds to me more like habit as opposed to hearing the ringtone, hearing another one back to back from a different friend and thinking that somebody had gone.
Yeah, no, that shit is fucked up.
Because that's what we call an automatic assumption.
No, I'd be assuming the worst in every situation. I said that.
Yeah. Automatic assumptions are usually a pretty common impact of trauma.
But the good news, I should be feeling amazing, dog. You feel me?
No bullshit.
The good news, be feeling great, dog.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to learn there with trauma. There's a lot more that we can go into, but I feel like that's kind of a good little starting place for what trauma really is and even what therapy really is.
Mm-hmm.
So trauma's not necessarily, it wouldn't be if you learn the habit or like the pattern of the habit. It would be if you took that same like John and then added to somebody new unrelated.
That's a perfect example of it. If you add it to situations where it no longer applies, and of course it's not like something you're actively doing.
Yeah.
It kind of forces itself upon you.
Yeah. It's like if a John did me dirty and then I treat the new John a little paranoid.
Is that trauma?
She traumatized me, so now I'm a little cautious with this John.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm cautious with the same John that traumatized me, that's just
What's that?
that's pattern. You feel me? You know the pattern of her lifestyle and shit. Damn, yo, I'm out here just giving
So
therapy.
say something traumatized you, and then you go back to what traumatized you.
Stockholm syndrome. Isn't that what it's called?
I mean, that's
Like
definitely.
say you got, I don't know, you got burnt at work. You burnt your arm at work cooking on the grill or something, and you couldn't fuck with fire for a while. I'm like, man, fuck that. You go back. Would that be you facing your fear or?
Nah, that example whack. Say John girl stabs him, right? And they take a break for 6 months. You find she learned a lesson. It was her only mistake. And he goes back. Is he over his trauma of getting stabbed?
I couldn't confidently say that.
Your shit was whack.
My shit was hard, bro. You talking about getting burned in the fire? You gotta get your money regardless. Dog.
But that's a little more realistic than getting stabbed by your girlfriend.
Yeah, is it? Is it? Motherfuckers be getting stabbed by their girl, dog.
I ain't never been stabbed.
I know a few people got stabbed.
That's by their girl?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
It's usually like forks. But yeah.
The criteria for trauma isn't just something that causes you to change your behavior on things that are no longer that same thing. That's kind of like that's kind of a brief description of what trauma looks like. The symptoms of trauma include things that look a lot more like depression, like flashbacks, and difficulty experiencing joy,
that makes sense.
Irrational anger, difficulty sleeping, irritability, difficulty concentrating. Those are usually symptoms of trauma. But it's not too often that we go through those symptoms. So sometimes it's helpful to just say, have you been through something that caused you to change your behavior in situations that felt similar? Yeah.
Wait, why everybody just paused?
I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah, I feel like
I thought everybody had trouble sleeping. I'm starting to feel attacked. Fuck, just describe me like a motherfucker. I'm like,
I ain't got no trouble
all right, I'm about to hop off. Yeah, you want to play COD?
Pretty sure we all got a little trauma somewhere though.
Yeah,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
I thought everybody was trauma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody got a little bit.
Here's my transition. Do y'all know what self-talk is?
But to tell us.
When you talk to yourself, dog?
Yeah, like when you talk to yourself, every day, all day, we talk to ourselves, right? About
yeah, for sure.
Coaching ourselves through what we're doing and making sure we're doing it the way that we think is right. Even like if we're scared or not scared, kind of talking to ourselves throughout the whole thing. So I want to know, do y'all know what manscaping is?
Yeah, but
yeah.
Okay, so we know what manscaping is.
They got a John that's called like what the fuck is that shit called? They spend big money with us. Now go ahead.
What is y'all's self-talk while you're manscaping?
Don't cut the balls.
Don't cut the balls.
Just don't slice, because imagine a slice.
Yeah.
Like a paper cut on the hand hurt. I couldn't imagine down there. Fuck.
So you're like coaching yourself, okay, just don't cut that shit right now.
Yeah, because your shit about to be hurt, bro.
I'm not going to lie. I've been in there manscaping talking about this shit about to look good.
I be manscaping like, yeah, don't do too much, don't do too little. Like, to find the great even ground here.
All I'm thinking is no slices, man. Just don't cut yourself.
Especially if it's the last minute, John, the John about to come over, you're like, oh, you don't do nothing crazy here. Man, why'd I use a 1?
Sometimes you gotta use the 1 to gain a few extra inches, though. You know what I mean?
You're like, damn.
Oh, hold on. Y'all taking the clippers. Y'all using clippers.
Damn, why I used the 1?
Oh, y'all using the clippers, y'all.
You gotta use the clippers. You seen me in those beards, yo?
Yeah, now what you got? John got the shears.
No. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, I beat it right in my head like it was nothing crazy, dog. Just give me a regular Caesar. don't overdo it.
Yo.
Don't underdo it. John about to come over now.
Nah. Oh, so y'all cutting y'all beard with the same John y'all
bro.
with?
No, I got a like a little barber set for my beard.
You got the separate pairs?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I use the same pair. He just hit a little water and soap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
that's crazy.
The same clipper's crazy.
Nah, bro, that's crazy. Well, you do be scared. They like, yo, if I cut this John, then the bitch gonna come over. That's gonna look crazy. You won't get the wrong ideas there.
That's a fact.
What is this cut?
Yeah.
I swear, I was just flipping that John up. It's not an outbreak.
Thinking of everything.
Sometimes you gotta try something new, you know? Short on the sides, long on the top.
Fucking faded out.
Yo. Nah, that's funny.
Wait, so if you're laughing at us, John, for using the clippers, you use scissors?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You be down there with the scissors.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the old head, like the old heads. Like the old head barbers. Snip the top, you know what I'm saying? And you fade the rest, you know what I'm saying? You razor fade the rest of it, you feel me?
No wonder you scared to cut them Johns. Them shits might come off.
Yeah, shit, fuck that.
You hit the wrong John.
Shit.
You gotta lift the guy up to get up under the scissors.
No. See, y'all missing the whole point. Y'all missing the whole point. Y'all missing. Y'all
hitting some wild John.
Nah, y'all missing it. What I'm saying is we only above Brody, only above my man. We scissoring the John. Under that, it's all razor work.
Oh, you hit him with the combo.
Yeah, the baldy balls.
The baldy.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Don't cut yourself. That's what I'm thinking the whole time. Don't cut yourself.
Cut my neck every time I clean this John up.
Nah, see, that's the thing. I ain't never cut myself because I'm thinking, bro, don't cut yourself. And it's scary as fuck every time.
That could be bad.
Yeah. Special occasion for the ladies, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you anticipate. You know you getting your balls sucked.
You feel me?
You know you getting your balls sucked.
That's the thing. If they see them like that, they gonna be like, oh. You know what I'm saying? They could.
Nah, them bitches be sucking balls regardless, because that shit don't matter.
They do. But that right there is like, oh, he took the time out for this. So
I mean, those ladies will do it regardless. Yeah.
I'll say this: they appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be like pulling a little hair.
Yeah.
John got braces looking crazy. Mm-hmm.
That's funny though.
Oh shit.
Nah, that is funny as a motherfucker, dog. That motherfucker said manscaping.
Everybody's got the self-talk during manscaping, saying that this is I'm about to look right tonight.
Because I'd be having conversations with myself all day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That shit. I play out scenarios all day in my head. They'd be having the whole combos for everybody involved. If I'm texting to John, I'm already thinking what she's gonna say back 4 texts ahead, dog. I got the whole combo planned out in my head, dog. That shit is sad.
How often do your plans work out for how you think it's gonna go?
It depends how like on script the convo is. You feel me? Because a lot of shit is like, you already know what's about to happen. But yeah,
You about to
go on there, bro.
Curve Gotti. Yeah. So what y'all got? What y'all got for the day?
A question?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you got? What you got, John? Is it questions?
Yeah, we could go a question. Man, if let the people get to know us. If you had to visit one place right now, take away the Rona, where are you going? Anywhere in the world.
You going
I got
first,
two
Joe?
Johns. Yeah, I got two Johns, but
Let's hear them both. Let's hear them both.
I want to see the pyramids real bad. But I want to go in them bitches. Can you go in them? Do they do tours now? Because they be digging them motherfuckers up like it ain't shit. I know they do tours. They pull them bodies out every week, dog. They be doing little vocal box Johns so you can hear their voice now and everything. I want to see them shit so bad.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, ah.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy.
You think that shit was real? Because
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
that shit
real.
was fake.
Nah,
Hey,
that shit was-
measure this shit.
They paid
You know
like
what's crazy,
$10 million
too?
for that man to go.
Yeah, that was bro. And them motherfuckers be little and brittle and shit. They was dying when they was 25. They was weak as shit back then. But I want to see them Johns, bro. They was building them Johns up. It was 5'2", building these giant ass pyramids with all these secret compartments and shit, dog. You go in there, it's mad treasure. I wouldn't even want to take none of that shit. I would just want to go around and explore, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit would be so fun. And I want to see the Great Wall.
I ain't mad at the Great Wall either.
My place, I might even move there. I'm probably gonna move. I would move to Switzerland.
What about Switzerland?
Yeah, is that swag or something?
Yeah, Switzerland is super swag. You got the Swiss Alps, which is like a crazy view. There's like Interlaken Lake, which is right below it. And it's just, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Most of the pictures I've seen are from Instagram, and one of my guys has been there a couple times, and I would say like I even like their just whole philosophy. Like they don't have near as much crazy stuff going on. They take care of their people. Kind of got a little of that democratic socialist stuff going on. They don't have an issue with killing people with guns like every 5 seconds because of the laws. And drugs are viewed a whole different way, so there's not near as much deaths.
Damn.
Their happiness scale is really high. I think it's great.
I'm doing my research on Switzerland, man.
Man, people be loving Switzerland and shit. But look, if you went into them pyramids, bro, would you go in by yourself? Like, say it was open and it was like, yeah, you hit the pyramid lottery. You can go explore that, John. Would you do it?
You fucking around.
I would do it.
In there. I done seen too many movies.
That's what I'm saying.
They be
But I
having
feel like
secret traps and shit.
Yeah, but what if you had like a little tracker?
If I know I'm not going to die, I'll do it.
You won't never know you're not going to die.
Yeah, I'm
dog.
not going in, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. The Mummy and Return of the Mummy gave me nightmares, so I might not go in there.
I never watched either one, but did y'all ever see the Boogeyman?
That was my mom.
It was like a remake. I watched that, John. I think me and John went and watched the first Paranormal together.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Motherfucker was moving around and shit.
And then me and Flocka watched like Paranormal 3 or 2 together.
Yeah, with Toby, his invisible ass. I would have ran up on Toby quick.
That's not my question, but everybody watched the Versus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched the Versus, Flock?
That's some trauma. I didn't watch it live, but
that's some fucking trauma, dog.
Yeah, it was, honestly. And I felt kind of weird about both of them and how they handled it. Like, I get trying to squash it, but in that way just doesn't seem...
You think it's squashed from your view?
Yeah,
it didn't look squashed?
Sure, like if they didn't even have a real conversation before that. Jeezy was on the Breakfast Club the next day saying he thinks there's like hope to really like have a conversation and heal from it now. They should have had that conversation before that, John, dog.
I did see what Gucci's wife said. I mean, that's in the household. I don't know how much
weight
that
would
hold. She was just saying how she was proud of him and how he could finally feel, I guess, free from the situation.
Yeah, because at first I thought he was drawing, but the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, damn, bro, really try to kill him.
Yeah.
And if somebody tried to kill me, and I got all my folks in the room, and I'm reliving all this shit in my raps, that shit would take a lot for me not to just go handle you right there. If I'm him, I'm thinking maybe that's just 29 me, and them guys are both like 40. But I'm definitely gonna go punch on him at least at the minimum.
I mean, like you said, that was real life trauma.
Yeah, he tried to take my life away, dog.
Yeah.
He tried to kill me.
So obviously I come at that with like the therapist perspective. And if I'm thinking about we're trying to heal from the trauma, I know for a fact that kind of joking about it and making a show about it does not heal it at all.
I didn't think there was a joke.
It looked very real.
I didn't think there was no jokes in that shit.
You're right.
I thought that shit was all dead serious. I think a lot of that shit was like, yo, let me say all this to your face. Let me look you in the eyes and say that shit to you.
And get this shit off that I've been trying to say to your face.
Let me say this dead to your face, look you in the eyes, and tell you how I killed your man who tried to take my life away. It didn't work. You
think that was him trying to resolve his trauma?
I think that was a lot of like, coming face to face. Like, yo, you going to hear this shit. I knew you already heard it, but you're going to look at me. You're going to see how well I'm doing. You're going to see I got my nice wife now. I'm still doing good. I'm healthier now. And you try to kill me. And I killed your man. And you can't touch me still. You can still try and kill me, and I'll kill more of your mans.
And I want to see how you're going to react to what I'm saying.
Yeah, and budge. I dare you to budge. That's what most of that shit was. I dare you to move off this.
See, to me, that still sounds like unresolved trauma.
But yeah, that was before the conversation that was real trauma. Jeezy had, though, right? It was like Jeezy was letting him get his shit off. And then Jeezy had to say what he had to say. And I'm not sure, like, how Gucci felt after. I mean, none of us have probably ever known.
Think that shit hit.
But Gucci didn't antagonize. He didn't say nothing the rest of the battle. So it's like, you wonder what's going on with Gucci in that moment. Like, is he processing this? Like, damn, I'm really standing here with this dude. Because if you watched after the battle, or after they both said what they said, Gucci had no more words for G. It wasn't no more slick comments. It wasn't no more none of that. It was just
I do think that should calm them down a little bit.
Just getting it out, right?
But I think it's a lot easier to be from Jeezy's perspective and move on from that shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's as much accountability because nobody really knows how that shit was. Nobody knows if it was a direct hit or if his man took it upon himself or whatnot. But if somebody physically tried to kill me, and that's what I feel like, I'm holding that shit for life. And Gucci was like,
I think most people will.
Fuck yeah, bro. And good. I'm holding that shit for life, bro. You tried to kill me. You wanted to take me away from my mom, my family.
What does that mean to hold on to it for life?
That means
yeah. We're not having a relationship.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know if I would feel comfortable with you being alive.
That too.
But isn't that worse? Isn't that worse for Gucci though? Honestly, like if we take a look at how that's going to affect his mental state to have to be in the place of, I don't want you to be alive. That's like continuing the pain because that's not something that he can readily achieve.
And that might be something that you motherfucking learn from the chair. But I'm telling you, nah. No.
Imagine every time Jeezy's on the radio. And
I just imagine knowing. Yeah, I just got to know this fella tried to kill me and he's walking around. Like, what's to say he's not going to try and kill me again? Or why is he okay with motherfucking having a talk show and doing all this shit? He tried to take my fucking life away over some rap shit. The only way to get even on this shit is to kill you. Let me make sure this will never happen again.
I just think that's selling yourself short of having the life that you're capable of having. I get what you're
100%,
saying.
100%, bro. I get what you're saying on like a mentally healthy aspect and like, yo, let it go. It's not even worth it. Obviously, bro moved on, so-and-so. But some shit you just got to keep going with. And some shit you can't let go. And trying to take my fucking life away is one of them joints.
So you don't think Gucci let that go?
No.
Mm-mm.
No. I guarantee even when they went to the club afterwards, all his folks would strap the fuck up, and I guarantee 5 or 10 of them was in his ear like, yo, if anything pops off, right, they look crazy. They smoked this motherfucker. I guarantee he was super.
Jeezy's moving the same way?
Yeah, I'm sure. But Jeezy's probably not even worried about it to the extent. I think Gucci probably needs to hear that.
From his people.
Yeah, like he needs that sense of security. Like, yeah, we are ready to blow their whole fucking camp up if anything happens.
And I think that's the energy he went into it with. And that's what I'm saying. After he got all his shit off, it was like he looked relieved to say everything he said. Like, all right,
I'm
now
sure.
what you got to say? And whether or not he cared what Jeezy had to say, he got all his shit off in front of everybody too.
And to an extent, I'm going to say every fucking thing I can say to disrespect you.
And he did it to the max.
And if I don't get any reaction out of it, you are over it. I'm going to say everything I can get to get this reaction out of you. I want. And if I still don't get this reaction, then yeah, maybe it is over.
And looking at Jeezy's reaction, you think Jeezy been over it, right?
Yeah. I don't think Jeezy gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I think he could care less. And I think from his position, I think it's a lot less. It's a lot easier to get over.
You're talking about when he said...
Besides the fact that was his man. It was his man.
But to what extent?
I mean...
Was it his man for 3 years? Was it his childhood friend? Was it his brother? Was it associate?
As far as I know, they've been cool for a while.
What's a while there, bro?
I don't know. We got
you know me? Because I saw his one, the dude they was talking about, son came out and said, damn, bro, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What
they had to have a certain type of relationship.
Well, how much, bro? Because if I had a certain type of relationship with my mans, I'm talking to his son before I even do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to his son and his son say, nah, don't do that shit to my pop. Don't put him in a situation to be disrespected like that and still go and do it. So obviously they ain't chat. So like, how much of a relationship did they really have?
You guys are talking about Pookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his son.
So like, if it's my right hand, I'm talking to his son before to make sure all that shit's okay. So
yeah, I thought
how close were they?
I was wondering what happened behind the scenes that made Jeezy okay with Gucci saying, I'm smoking on Pookie tonight, and recounting that whole thing, because that felt like he was clearly trying to be disrespectful, or they had some agreement beforehand that said he could do that, and I'm just not sure which one it would be.
I mean, Gucci said, bro, I told you on the phone, if I'm going to come here, I'm playing all these disses.
I don't know.
I'm playing all these disses. That's the only way I'm going to do it.
Do you guys think it's just that industry to where they just set their real stuff aside for the
I didn't think that shit was industry at all. I thought that was real shit. I just thought it was two different perspectives of real shit. I think it was Gucci's real shit of saying, I'm going to get this off. You're going to hear it. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to show you how the fuck I'm living. And I think it was Jeezy's way of saying, yo, eventually we got to stop this cycle of violence.
So Jeezy's kind of technically farther ahead than Gucci in that way.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot easier for him to be.
Because he didn't almost die.
Yeah. Nobody tried to kill him. And just because Jeezy's cool with all that shit now and he's mentally evolved to where he doesn't care about all that shit and what's it called? It doesn't mean everybody else is going to be on the same page as him or on the same cycle as him.
Yeah.
Well, Jeezy did say in a rap, rest in peace to Pookie Loke. Blame it on me never snitching. Lord knows I ain't send a homie on no dummy mission. He said that in a bar. So, I mean, from what Jeezy's saying, he didn't order that. And I think that's a part of Jeezy thing. Like, bro, I mean, Gucci will never believe it, but Jeezy, from what I've read, that shit didn't even. I ain't had nothing to do with this.
That shit doesn't sound like a dummy mission to me either. It sounded like they had to drop.
I mean, it sounded like
sound like multiple guys kicked into a door.
But you also know people do things to try to prove themselves to people too.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jeezy on the end of Stay Strapped, he says, I got 10 bands on Gucci Man chain, says at the end of a rap, which if we think Jeezy is as real as he say he is, we know he's not about to say nothing that he thinks somebody gonna do on a rap, right? We would assume.
No.
So you think Jeezy would be dumb enough to say snatch his chain, and then somebody close to him does it?
Yes.
You don't think the guy could have been performing for himself? Like, man, I'm about to prove to Jeezy how loyal I am.
Is it possible? Yeah, he definitely could have. But is it also possible for them to think that Gucci was actually pussy enough to where he wasn't going to body anybody, and that they just had a drop at him at a girl's house, and they were just going to kick in? It was going to be an easy lick.
We do know that era was the chain snatching era.
That's what I'm saying. But they got three or four or five people kicking a door, and bro's at a girl house, and he just happens to have his strap. It didn't go to a plan, but I'm not necessarily. Yeah, they had to drop on him. I don't even think that's a dummy mission.
But but I'm saying,
and if you think
from what I'm reading from the rap, Jeezy didn't send him on that to do that. From my understanding of what Jeezy had just said in that rhyme.
Facts, and that's why I think it's a lot easier for Jeezy to be over it, because he could get away with saying he doesn't necessarily have a level of accountability to it.
Yeah, because I feel like he doesn't think he had anything to do with it.
Yeah, so that's easy to move on from. On the flip side, somebody kicked in the door when I was trying to cuddle up with my lady and murdered me.
And it's your man, so.
And it's your man who signed to you.
Yeah, so.
So, you tried to kill me.
I mean,
And when you say it's 20 years ago, no, motherfucker, it's 15 years ago I killed your man.
Yeah, Gucci better than a lot of us, because he did get up on that stage, man.
And he didn't.
Especially when somebody he believed tried to get him killed.
Mm-hmm. Fuck that shit. But more power to Jeezy. I respect the message of where he was going with it. I liked all of them shouting out on whatnot. That shit is wild. Motherfuckers do be dying over the stupidest shit. And the older we get, the more stupid the shit be.
Yeah.
The shit is dumb. So, I mean, I get all that. Trauma. Fucking trauma.
Is there a place where a girl could have a tattoo that makes you trust her less?
Trust her less?
Yeah.
John had a juicy on top of her puss.
Damn. You wouldn't trust her? Is that like less trust because she got that?
Nah, that's a real story.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though. Like,
nah, I'm all for like, yo, whatever makes you feel good. Whatever makes you feel like you bad. You think that shit look good? That's a turn on. Get whatever fucking tats you want. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know if the tat gonna make me think that.
Not a thigh tat or a breast tat. None of that stuff makes you paw print.
Nah,
I like the thought. I like the thigh tats, and I like Eve paw prints. That's one of my favorite tats. She got the paw prints on her chest. It's one of my favorite tats.
That's why I knew that we should have been friends from the start, because the paw prints, man, you could have tell me in 20
back then.
Whew.
Somebody get the paw prints now.
Because I'm on Facebook in 2008, 9, 10 saying there's nothing better than a John with a chest tat.
Mm.
You and her have messing chest tats.
Used to love them ratchet.
Chest tat.
Used to.
Nah, yeah, get whatever tats you want, man. Whatever makes you feel bad or good. Like good, bad in a good way. You
Back to that people pleasing deal.
Bro, I'm not about to tell you how to look. It's not my place to tell you what looks good.
Yeah.
So you are. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I think me and John have already observed the controlling deal.
I ain't got no controlling in me, dog. Do whatever makes you happy. Shit, it's cap.
They control over there.
Oh, so anyway, JC, y'all be capping on me. That shit is crazy, dog.
We got evidence now. This shit is recorded.
Flocka is using the same clippers for his. Flocka is using the same clippers for his nuts and his beard, and you guys are talking to me about anything.
No, I had tears in my eyes after you said that shit.
And he's married. Yo, Em, get that man some clippers.
Get my man some oil those clippers, and since I bought them either. Holy shit.
Get my man some clippers for Christmas. Nah, yo, if you stop fucking with somebody, do your friends have to stop fucking with them?
Honestly, I feel I probably need to update it, but for the longest time I felt like yes. And it definitely depends on the level. I can tell when I'm being petty, but like let's just say someone tries me and another person tries to play basketball with them afterwards, I feel a little bit salty about it.
Oh yeah, facts.
No, I'm just kidding.
Motherfuckers like, no, don't do it. Nah, you wasn't.
No, but there is times, a lot of times where I'll say, especially during college, I was like, yeah, if I'm not fucking with them, you shouldn't be either, because I am quick to know if you're not fucking with that person, I'm cutting it off too. I'm done. Like I won't even.
What if you divorce them? Do I have to delete her on Facebook?
That's hard for me to answer because I never really considered that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
it depends on the reason, I guess.
Not even speaking that into existence.
Yeah.
It's only a fun hypothetical because we all know it's not reality. Jesus Christ, come on, guys. Fuck.
We big on energy.
So anyway, if you break up with your lady, can I still be friends with her on Facebook?
No, hell no.
On Facebook.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, I think you can be friends on Facebook.
Now, because me and my folks was talking this weekend, right? And one of my folks said, "Yo, whatever happened to so and so?" I said, "Bro, I ain't seen from her in forever. I ain't hear from her." And my other man said, "Oh, yeah, she doing well. She out of here now."
And was it your girl?
Nah.
I was wondering if it was your girl or not. I thought we were wondering if it was your girl.
No, I was just giving a loose example. You feel me? So I was talking to my work friends today, and they were saying,
so even if it's not your girl, they shouldn't follow.
I was just saying in general, if you don't fuck with somebody, should you not fuck with the person either?
Hold on. All right. How much weight does a Facebook follow hold? Does it hold weight to you, Flut?
I don't have a Facebook, so I would say you should be able to get rid of the follow, and it doesn't even bother you.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Yeah, cool. Because
it's a Facebook follow, but if like we don't
even frequent Facebook, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's like catching a flight.
At this point, I don't think I would care. Back in the day, I would.
Yeah, back in the probably 4 or 5 years ago, I probably would have cared.
Back in the day, if I stopped fucking with you and John still wanted to be friends with you back in the day, I'd be like, what the fuck is you talking to him for, dog? He's a nut. But now, if I stop fucking with you, I wouldn't give a fuck if you guys chatted up on the gram or whatnot. Do whatever, dog. Who cares?
I'm the same way. I could say probably within a year or two after college, it switched. But before that, it was if you guys are still friends, or if like I'm not friends with this person and me and you are closer friends than the two of you are friends, right? Then you should probably have a little beef with them too, because you need to be siding with me.
Now, if it's a lady you stop dealing with and you still liking all her flicks and posting on the wall and whatnot, then I always be like, oh, that's a little fishy.
It's different with a lady for y'all?
I think if it was your girl, that's a little like, what are we doing? Well, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, saying it out loud.
Who cares?
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, probably at the beginning you probably would care, but like you said, after time you like, man, who gives a fuck? Now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds a little nuts.
Yeah, right. Doesn't it? It kind of sounds nuts to say it out loud. Like I'm a grown man and I'm worried about another person's relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can't hold you too, because I began friends with a lot of my lady friends and whatnot. So like when I see them out at the bar and stuff, I chop it up with them for a grip. I be catching up.
Yeah, I can say I even think of some of my friends now where they've been cooler with people who they know that I don't really like. And I've thought of them like, damn, really? Like, I don't like them. So why are you over there?
And I think it depends on the reason why you don't like them.
Or if y'all get cooler after I start fucking with them, I'll be like, all right, dog. Like, you ain't even like them when they was around, dog. You want some nut shit. What's up with you? You hype.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Nah, but yeah, you really stepped up your background game there.
You know, I had to do, I got the whole, this is the bedroom, so I got the whole wall on it, you know what it is.
Now that first John, he was looking sad out here, dog.
It was weak. I gotta admit, it was weak.
No cap. No
what do
cap.
y'all want to do? You want to hit one more? Or you want to call it?
You got one more?
What you got?
Yeah, let's keep it going.
I got a couple more.
Do your thing, bro. What are we on that? What time are you on?
It's 8 o'clock. We started about 7. Got about an hour in.
Nah, we started at like 6:40. But you got to cut some out. Yeah, let's hit another, though.
Okay.
Shit, hit 2. I don't care.
I got a light one. This is a light one that was from another listener. Celebrities or somebody gets famous, right? Let's just say you were to get famous and you got famous with the person from your hometown, right? And it's your partner, your wife, whatever y'all into, boyfriend, deal, whatever y'all into.
I don't know. See, you said that like it was funny. Everyone knows I'm not a gay. But,
He said, okay.
but if I was, I don't think it would be a negative thing for you to say like a little funny joke. Like, I don't like your energy on that, bro. It's 2020, dog. Especially when you got a friend real close to you. But all right. But all right, bro.
Let's just say the celebrity ditches their hometown partner and gets one that's better looking. Is that fucked up?
Run this back. So you got a friend that ends up being a celebrity?
No, let's just say you are doing your thing and you get famous, right? But while you're getting famous, you've got a girl, and she came up with you the whole time. And you guys went through all the struggles together. You guys went through the come up together. Didn't mute your phone together, and then when you get famous, you decide to ditch her for someone that looks better. Is that all right?
Well, you know, Flocka, I think all women are like absolutely beautiful in their own right. So who's really determined that the other person looks better? Are we saying stereotypically?
For the hypothetical. For the
hypothetical, like stereotypically, they would say they look better. Like,
you got your girl, and then you get famous. Then Megan Good wants you. Then what? What you
know,
do?
I love Megan, dog.
Exactly. What you doing?
You know, I love Megan.
What you doing?
You know, I don't necessarily think I would leave my lady just because I got famous or started dealing with interacting with a prettier lady, because I'm already used to dealing with the bad bitches. You feel me? So it wouldn't be nothing new. You understand what I'm saying? I think it would be more so like, how are they adapting to the new form of lifestyle we got? Because everybody's not going to be built for this like that. Everybody's not built for like the different life you take on as years go.
So she knows.
I think that's why
Good, your crush. You got a movie role with Megan Good. She start getting a little insecure.
Oh, you got to relax.
If she didn't relax,
then like, fuck out of here. Because that's you being insecure off the rip.
Have you guys ever tried to tell a girl to relax?
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Tell them relax and stop texting them when they don't.
What about when they in your face?
You know?
Yeah, and I manipulate.
Doug, so like
LeBron. Let's take an extreme example. LeBron came up with his queen from high school.
I think she's beautiful though.
She is.
Yeah, I think she's beautiful.
Okay. But Rihanna be sitting courtside yelling out King James and shit.
Who's to say Rihanna looks better than his wife?
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying it's just the
And who's to say they don't who's to say they don't have an open relationship?
Well, no, we just for the sake of the hypothetical.
Guys, I'm really just trying to make a misogynistic joke, and you guys aren't going for it, so it's cool.
I don't know where you like what you wanted to say, bro. We would dump the John and get the baddie ASAP.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to say because you can't really trust them nowadays.
Nah, bro. Plus,
you would think it would be better. You'd be like, man, I just got all this bread. They only want me because I'm famous, and you think you already know. And I think that's probably what Brian think. Like, man, she was with me when I was. I ain't had none of this shit. So.
Plus, I be getting more attracted to the personalities these days anyway.
So what we're saying we try to do is recognize like the internal traits of our significant other as opposed to just focusing on the external traits.
Yeah.
When I be talking to a John and like I start liking their personality, I think in my head I be thinking she's the baddest in the world.
Young Drake.
Yeah, right, John. It was like I was in Florida, right? Living with Shane, I met this John, really hit it off with, had a ball, right? Thought she was a baddie, dog. She came over to my crib, she taught me how to play spades, we drank Henny all night. Absolute great time.
That's why I never saw Dill when he lived right down the street from me. Okay.
Dog, I was knocking them down on the apps in Florida. But what's it called? Great time. So I called John, I'm like, yo, bro, blah, blah, had a great time, blah, blah. He like, weird, that's what's up, bro. Sounds dope. He like,
happy
send a
for
flick.
him. I'm really happy for him.
Send a flick. I send him a flick and go, yeah, that ain't it, bro.
He sent me the worst pic too.
Yeah, because we circled back. She's not bad now.
Yeah, but the pic he sent though.
I thought it was a good pick.
That wasn't the pick to send.
She kind of favors LeBron.
Oh shit!
Nah, cause she did an angle with her face. So I was like, why would you send that pic? And it just looked, I don't know. It was just bad.
He shallow howled me, dog. He shallow howled me.
No, but did you get more feedback after me?
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I thought you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one.
Nah, I hit her. I sent it to another person. They said, yeah, that ain't it either. Poor girl though.
So wait, you did ultimately judge her on her looks?
Well, I thought she was the baddest. You couldn't tell me she wasn't a Don.
But you did start because of other people saying that she wasn't good looking enough.
Uh-huh.
And I ain't even talked to her.
Not only did I ditch her, but like we had like an absolute amazing time together. And we were texting for like 5 days, and then it was just ghost.
I've ruined that. That's fucked.
That's kind of toxic.
But he didn't say all that though. He ain't like, oh, she the one. He wasn't saying, oh, we had a ball. He ain't saying none of that shit.
We did. He's lying.
No. This was after the fact. This was after the fact. He came like a month later, like, man, John, I really liked her. And I just, like, what? Ooh, you talking about LeBron. I said.
Ruined it for her. He shallow out me.
I said, why you
and it was bad too. Because at that up to that point, I was always mad.
Bill
like,
will send you a pic without any context. He'd be like, yeah,
he's capping.
Nah. All right. Bill will just send you a pic, no context.
Yeah, he ruined it for me, fuck. And the rough part
was the pic. What you think? No context.
And I was mad too.
But mind you, we fucking, what are we, like 20s? What, like
24 probably.
Yeah, 24 at the time.
24, 25.
That's real shallow.
Oh, I was shallow as hell to that point too. That's why I was really bad too, because I really went outside of my element on that one.
Yeah. And I'm just going off of pure look and shit. I'm just like, nah. I ain't know he really hit it off with her and shit.
Yeah, you did.
You cut her off. You cut her off of what your man said about looks.
Yeah, once my man said it, like it changed everything for her. She just looked crazy to me.
But that shouldn't even matter though.
Yeah, it shouldn't have.
What is that about?
But it ruined it for me. I sent it to my man, and I sent it to my lady friend, and she said, "Yeah, that's a reach." Actually, my friend Amani, shout out to her. Not Bree, but
what?
Shout out to Amani and shit.
Why did you think I meant that one?
Because you did a little like sip. Like this, it was like a little freaky sip. It freaked me out. But yeah, she texted me back and said that's a reach deal. So it just made me look at that John a little crazy or shit. Shout out to her though. She was a good girl.
So maybe there's a lesson learned from that. Like don't go off of your friend's thoughts about.
Oh, I ain't sent a pic to my friend since, dog.
Good for you.
Dill used to be wild. I'm gonna just leave it there.
I was not.
Dill used to be wild, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Good for you.
Used to be.
I remember Dill tried to get in his bag by complimenting my eyes to a girl one time. That was nuts.
What the fuck? What'd he do, fuck? What the fuck he say?
Hop right in that bag, huh?
He said, I'm not going to go into the whole story today. I'll go into that later. But it was a situation where he was sitting in the backseat of the car, and he was like,
vibing.
Vibing with this man sitting on his lap. And he said, he was trying to, I don't even know what he was going for, but he was trying to compliment my eyes about how nice my eyes were to this girl whose bag he was trying to get her in. And
I wasn't trying to get nothing, bro. She was a white. I wasn't even dealing with whites until like 2017, 18. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
I just said my man got nice eyes. Sorry, the fuck. I forget how it came.
That was your bar for her.
No, bro. Honestly, I forget how it came about. I
can't remember either. Dill used to call me up thinking the feds was picking him up. Another story for another day.
Trauma, baby. Trauma, baby.
Yeah. Last topic. It's more serious, but it's and not as long. Have you guys heard the saying that the tough moments prove who you are?
Yeah, for sure.
My view.
That's like pressure make diamonds.
Yeah, my view is that that's a toxic take.
Really?
My view from the chair is that that's a toxic take, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because that is saying that when you're under pressure, that is the only time that you reveal who you really are, and that the way that you handle yourself, the other 90% of your life isn't who you really are, and that any mistakes that you make when things get really tough are an example of you not being as good as you say you are, you think you are. So I kind of think that view is kind of toxic.
I don't.
Really? So in a simple way to example, a basketball player that struggles in, let's say, fourth quarters, that has nothing. You don't think that defines him as a basketball player? Not necessarily as a person, but.
Or is it more like, what's his body like? What language did like when he's down 30?
Yeah.
So are you guys saying if this is a habitual pattern where they're like that consistently?
Okay, so I see what you're saying. If you had one big moment happen and you just were fucking rattled in that moment, didn't know what to do, like your house catches on fire, you don't go for the extinguisher. You run out and the whole shit burned down.
Nah, but what if your
Somebody
house
might
catch
look
on
at you like a
fire?
clown.
What if your house catch on fire and you don't run to get the kids? You run out to save yourself. I'm judging you.
Oh yeah, you getting judged. That's crazy.
Like you saying we shouldn't judge?
Or does that moment define them with what they thought about their kids?
I think it defines their character a bit.
I don't think it should.
That's some views from the motherfucking chair because, I think that shit says a lot. I think it tells a lot if you're in like a panic situation, like a do or die, or a really tough time, and it comes to certain situations, and you act like real like self-serving in that situation. I think it says a lot.
Even if it's just one scenario?
That might be the most important scenario of the motherfucking life.
So you get judged off of how you handle yourself in that one scenario, even though there's a lot more room for error.
Yeah. Somebody break into your room, break into your house. You gonna go save them. You're not gonna hide under the bed.
Well, so here's my thought. Because here's my thought on it. If we go by what we know is biologically our natural reaction, it's to save ourselves. We're self-preserving human beings.
I don't think that shit's true though, bro.
It is. No,
it's not.
Listen.
People be saving people all the time. They be jumping in front of cars to save people. Others be jumping in front of bullets.
Yeah.
That should be happening all the time, dog.
But on the most basic level, our breath is the most important thing, right? So if you try to get yourself to hold your breath to save another person, like let's just say that was the scenario. You had to hold your breath to save another person and get yourself to choke out. You're going to take the breath.
Nah.
Yeah, you are every time. No. You're going to breathe.
I don't think so.
Yes, you are. I guarantee you are.
I don't think so, man.
Why don't think so. Why do you think that?
Why do I think that?
Yeah, because he's bugging.
Yeah.
Because you can't deny your own biology.
You don't think you can put somebody before yourself?
You don't think you can put yourself in harm's way to look out for somebody else, dog? You for sure can. People do it all the time. I done did that shit a million times. Motherfucker, like, what the fuck? That shit happens all the time.
I think in one scenario, sure you can. Right? 1, 2, maybe 3 scenarios you can. But when it comes to like a habitual pattern, I think that's relying too much on this idea.
Well, but the expression is at the worst moment or the worst time. So it's not like it's going to be a consistent day-to-day John. It's just like, at the worst time, either your good traits are exaggerated or your bad Johns are exaggerated. And if you're telling me I'm in a motherfucking tank and it's me and my folks, and it's like, if I could just choke myself out and die, it'll give them an extra hour to try and get rescued, then I'm a rock. I'm not going to start gasping for air. I'm just going to let myself check.
Now, I will say, I don't think a lot of people would sacrifice their life for other people. I will say that. Unless it's like a child or a parent, maybe.
And I don't think that makes them a bad person.
I do think people will. Like, some people, but everybody ain't gonna do that. I know everybody's not.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, if it's the kids or something, I'm definitely judging you off of it.
Yeah, if it's you letting a child
I'm judging
die,
you off it, and it's fair to judge.
Yeah.
You telling me it's a house fire, and you see some kids on the top floor of their window, and you ain't gonna go try and save them motherfuckers. You wildin'.
But what if you try to save them and then it's
All y'all
just
die. And
literally too
motherfuckers can live
much?
with that.
Are they your kids?
Nah,
Or somebody. So you're running in a burning building. Third
if
floor.
I don't have kids, I'm running in the joint. Should have changed when I have kids. Yes, 100%.
You got kids at this moment.
Then no.
You have a whole family. Okay.
Nope.
See? And I think that's probably what changes people's opinion about something like that.
Now, if it's your kids in there and you don't run in, I'm for sure judging.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you wildin'. Yeah.
For sure judging.
Would you run it? Yeah. I don't even think that's a question you have to ask.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't see how you would be able to live with yourself afterwards.
I guess what I see most often is not like these extreme scenarios, but I see where people, they get into an argument with their partner, and in that argument with their partner, they say something they don't mean when the argument is really tough. Right? Like we're real arguing about some real shit and I call you a bitch, right? Or you call me a dickhead. Like, and you say something that you don't mean. You say never been a good husband, or I say you've never been a good wife. I feel like those are like realistic tough moments.
Okay, what if somebody put their hands on their wife in that moment?
Judging.
Because that's, like you said, in the moment, it's just one time.
I do go back and forth with what you saying, though, Flock, because I do think a lot of people say, like, oh, what you say when you're angry is the truth, and I don't think that. And I don't necessarily think that.
Yeah, because you're trying to hurt them.
Or I'm about to say drunken words is sober thoughts. I don't necessarily think that either. I think that shit doesn't make any sense.
That's bullshit. You're drunk. You say things that you don't mean.
And fair.
Yeah, and to John, what you just said, like about putting your hands on somebody, as much my human being, like Jake wants to say you're a piece of shit for doing that.
Yeah.
But the person of me that can take a step back and say, that's not a true description of who you are if that's not habitual.
So I get drunk next weekend, right? I hit you and say, yeah, I just beat a bitch up. No judgment from you?
No judgment from me. I got to think about that for a second. I mean, I might be...
and you know.
You know me.
I'm going to be hard on you, but I don't know. It's
going to be judgment free.
Could you be his friend after that?
That's what I'm saying. If you called me and said you beat him up, I don't think we would be friends anymore. We wouldn't be friends.
Yeah. That's a really good question, because I guess what I'm considering in my head is, what would I say to that person if I'm their friend, and what would I want them to do for themselves, the person that beat the other person up, as their therapist? I'm feeling very conflicted about that, because as their therapist, I know that if they continue to be hard on themselves and like say they're a piece of shit, they're more likely to do it again. But as their friend, I'm agreeing with you guys. Like, yeah, we're done. Like, I'm calling it.
I don't think everyone's as self-serving as you think naturally.
I'm not saying this from a natural perspective. I'm saying this.
Now you're saying like physically, like, yeah, you built to be like selfish. I feel like it's human nature to try and help people when you see them in distress, even if you're in distress.
I'll say it's human nature to help, but I don't know if you're in distress too. I don't know if you.
Like, you see when motherfuckers get in car accidents and everybody just run up to the car, they could get hit by other cars. That's a dangerous spot. What if the car blow up? You feel me?
It's a ton of people just driving by though.
Yeah, we know that
on the highway, yeah, but they only driving by if you see a bunch of people already there.
So you never drove by a car crash?
Yeah, if it was already settled.
No, I'm saying you've probably seen a fresh one, right? You seen a fresh.
I told you a couple weeks ago I saw the joint when I was riding my bike.
And
motherfucker, I was 1 block away, and by the time I got there, it was 20 people.
But those people weren't in an immediate danger.
But you running into a car that just hit a pole full-fledged and smoking, that shit could blow up. It's just natural reaction. You see that shit, you go help.
Right, but
I think that's natural human nature.
Those aren't the type of situations that we work on in therapy. Like that's a very rare thing to come up. And like the normal situations that we have is like people being hard on themselves, or people thinking that I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard to narrow down to just one or two things because there's so many different situations that come up. I think like getting to your situations, we know that if it comes to your breath or another person's breath, it's like if you're drowning or if there's a fire, it's really hard to resist your own breath.
Yeah, you see the John from Glee a couple weeks ago?
I've never seen Glee.
Nah, it was a John from Glee. She used to date Big Sean and shit. And her and her son was on like a kayak or something like that, and they was swimming in the water. Something had happened. And they said that her last John basically was to lift her little baby in the kayak, dog, and then she just died.
Oh,
They're like, that's natural. Like, that's a natural reaction.
Yeah, I think that's a really good
But these
example.
is all like extreme takes. If you saying like, should you judge somebody at their lowest? No, I don't think so at all. At their lowest moment? Now, if it comes to a situation where it's like life or death, you could have helped somebody you care about and you didn't to preserve yourself, then I'm judging you. But that's really in like life or death moments. I'm not about to judge you because you did some fucked up shit when you was down. I'm the king of giving second, third, fourth chances.
So you're judging in the life-threatening moment, though.
Yeah, because I think that's a huge character, John.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, motherfucker, if you're not gonna save your mom in a house fire, I don't necessarily know if I want to be friends with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it's two different scenarios, really. There's like these very extreme ones, and then there's the more
Yeah,
day-to-day.
motherfucker, you went. If you went and robbed a 7-Eleven because you just lost all your bread 2 months ago and life hit you hard and you did this shit, it's not something I would do, but that shit happens, bro. But that don't mean you're a fucking thief.
Yeah.
You're just in a bad spot.
And honestly, that's more of what I would see in therapy, like that type of situation where it's not these extreme cases. And I think that's where that thought came from. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get in a house fire, you save yourself over your girl. We definitely not friends, dog. You freaky for that. For sure. Motherfucker, you wouldn't be friends with me. I'll just let one of y'all burn in the crib.
Hell no.
Yeah,
that's
the fuck.
messed up.
Yeah, that should be fucked up. Self-preserving ass, dog. Shit, back in the day, you wouldn't even want to be around people you didn't think would take a bullet for you. That was the shit. You literally thought all your friends would die for you. And that was like a thing. Motherfuckers was swearing by that shit. All my folks would die for me.
They're not even knowing if they would or not.
You wouldn't know, nah, but that was like the golden John. Like, yeah, these people was ready to put their life on the line. That's how motherfuckers thought, which is nasty. Shouldn't be like a John for friendship, but that's how it was. People really used to be deaf over dishonor. That's stupid as shit too.
It took it serious.
That shit was rules to live by, dog.
Yeah.
Take it serious. That shit was rules to live by, dog.
Yeah.
That shit was. I almost got that shit on my chest. The tattoo artist said, "Come back with something more original." Thank God.
Scared you and shit.
Thank God, dog.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. I feel like
that was a good rap.
Good.
Yeah, so like, yeah, shout out to our listeners, all like 56 of them. What was it, 62, Flock?
I think I think 52.
Appreciate y'all.
We getting famous.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Follow us on Twitter and IG. It's hardly loaded yet, but
views from the chair.
Give us a follow. Hopefully, one of my guys will help me post some stuff. I don't know about that,
but you don't know how to post.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was wondering, you ain't been posting. You made it easy as ain't been posting. I'm like, dog, he forgot how to post. That shit crazy.
Honestly, kind of. I'm pretty shitty at that.
Yo, give me the logins, dog.
I got you. I will.
My man's gonna give me the logins. And shout out to John. That man, don't be texting back.
I'll be at work. Shit been busy, bro. Shit been busy. I told you after 6.
I told y'all I was destined for greatness. What y'all thought I was playing?
It's the
outro. Yeah, turn that down, bro. Don't laugh at my trauma. Them bars ain't funny, dog.
That's the outro right there.
Yeah. Don't laugh at my trauma, dog. All right, boys.
All right, y'all.